What do I think of for Trenton? I mean, like, I think it's a city that I'm a little bit scared of. Like, I wouldn't want to walk around alone.
It does seem a bit dangerous. That's kind of what I think of.
Washed up.
Dangerous.
Immediately, I would kind of think that, the demographics of it and, kind of the crime that goes on there, but we try not to think about that because I've been in Trenton and I've volunteered in Trenton, and I mean, there are some good things about it, the historic aspect.
If people, like when I tell people that I go to TCNJ and it's in Trenton, I make sure to say near Trenton. I don't say it's in Trenton, I say it's in Ewing, which is near Trenton.
I've lived in the area for 21 years. I would say TCNJ students perceive Trenton negatively, which isn't their fault. Like, when I first came here, the students who weren't from here say, like, oh, don't go there, it's just violent and it's not safe, which is true about some areas, but it's just about, I think it's about, like, being smart.
I think there's this big stigma around Trenton, especially for people who aren't from the area, that as soon as you drive into it, you have to lock all your doors and roll up your car windows. So I think that for me, it kind of brings up this idea of frustration where I wish a lot of people could get a better idea of what actually goes on in the city.
I think it's weird that people don't come into Trenton as much, especially students at the college, because they think it's dangerous. I'm James Reddick. I'm the program director at WTSR, and I'm putting on the Ava Luna Krill Show at Trenton Social. The, headliner is Ava Luna, who are from Brooklyn. They're kind of like an art rock band. Then there's Krill, who are originally from Boston. They all went to Tufts, or I think most of them went to Tufts. And I was looking at venues in Trenton. I was looking at this. I was looking at Mill Hill. I was looking at a few other bars. And I think the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of doing it in Trenton. And I think I kind of wanted to help rectify that misunderstanding that Trenton is like this place that you can't go to, because there are things like this venue here and other things.
Okay, well, I have a long history and association with the city of Trenton. It dates back to when I first came here to the College of New Jersey back in 1984. It's a little bit too easy because we have such a beautiful campus and we're not located in Trenton, and we're here in a beautiful suburban Ewing Township, for students not to venture beyond the campus. Trenton is a city, as many cities in the United States is, that's very challenged by socioeconomic blight and high crime rates and high levels of unemployment, and that's persisted over time. So the benefit of having students go into the community is, first of all, it gets them off campus and out of the bubble, and also allows them to get a more sophisticated perception of the people that live there.
So IMM280, course we call Design Perspectives for Interactive Multimedia, is one of the original courses in the IMM department, which is now about 10 years old. Over the last couple of years, I've changed the direction of that course so that we are doing real projects for real organizations, businesses, individuals in Trenton, because it makes it a more realistic experience in that we're working within real constraints. The first assignment, to go to Trenton. Yeah, that's the bomb I drop on people in the first week. It's just interesting because here we are at the College of New Jersey, formerly Trenton State College, where the overwhelming majority of the students are from the state of New Jersey. And I ask in the first week, how many of you have been to your state capital? And a very surprising number of students have never been there. If they have been there, they've been passing through the train station or something like that. So I ask everybody to take a trip to Trenton, which isn't that hard. It's just down the road. You can catch a bus from TCNJ and go down there and get off right by the State House and wander around and see the new downtown office and things like that. But I ask people just to sort of keep an open mind and observe what they see. You know, it's surprising, given that it takes about 10 minutes to get there, how much of a barrier that seems to be. And I want to just try to dispel that and show that in a lot of ways it works just like any other small city.
Absolutely. I think the more that we have what I'll call guided experiences will help students change their perceptions if they are in fact negative.
The idea, the first big problem to solve, puzzle to solve, is this issue of things not going on downtown after usual business hours.
I'm trying to think, what time do you want bands to get here? I'm going to email them right after this. So
I would say
how long things take to like.
I would say if everyone's here by 7,
Okay.
the true meaning of what this place's name is, it's Trenton Social, which means people are coming out, and you could drink at home. You could drink in front of the TV or on your back porch or whatever. When you go out to do that and have a drink or two, it's because you want to be social. You want to meet people or talk to people or interact or whatever. So people are coming here for a reason, and it's usually to have fun. If you want to send it to me on Facebook,
Okay.
like a playlist.
Yeah. I can do that.
I think it all happened on Facebook and then a phone call. So we haven't spent any money on traditional advertising. So out in the digital world, we've been pretty good about getting our brand out there. I was born down the street in Hamilton, at St. Francis there. And, I'm looking at South Broad Street. There's a $60 million facility across the street that the county put together, the Sunbank Center. And we're right across the street. But from here to, I'd say, the hotel, which is on Lafayette, there is no reason why this stretch of South Broad Street could not be our Bourbon Street. So I think there's a real opportunity here, and I don't think it's a whole lot of time before other people recognize that.
We've got all these great raw ingredients to turn Trenton into a really productive, creative city.
I would think if you have like the headliners on at 10 and then one at 11, and then the main headliner goes right till 12, and then after that, right?
Yeah. My expectations are limited for the event. I don't want to think of a number of people that I would like to be here because I think that anyone that shows up is a good thing.
I think it's cool because I know that now it's probably pretty tough to get students from the College of New Jersey into the city of Trenton. Years ago, college kids didn't hang out anywhere except for Trenton. They went to Perry's Clubhouse, they went to Club 14, they went to Mundy's, they went to City Gardens. Those were like every night of the week, each one of those places owned that night, and it was great. Now, I guess a lot of kids are bowling on Tuesday nights.
The goal is to kind of keep doing these. I'm graduating this year, but I'm probably going to help out with setting up some more shows in the fall here and at other places around Trenton to kind of foster this local music scene and kind of create something for the long term where we have people coming to these things often and we don't really have to worry about attendance because we kind of create our own community that will always come out to these things. So I kind of see this as a jumping off point.
Thanks for coming, guys. This is great. I love having you guys here. Honored to be playing with Krill and Avaluna. The song's called Peach Tape.
Social. We really wanted to jump at the opportunity to get a TSR show or TSR, signed, co-signed event to Trenton and really kind of bring the TCNJ community here.
So I'm excited to kind of see what the more local Ewing area has to offer.
There's a stigma regarding maybe the crime levels in the city, and just in general, I feel like people read the controversy in Trenton, maybe every day, and it just ends up being kind of like a deterrent from coming here, when really there's a lot of stuff to do in some really great places?
I think in general the city kind of has a bad stigma, so it's kind of cool that WTSR is trying to bring in, kind of get people from TCNJ more involved in the community and kind of bridge the two areas together.
I think that, one of the big things that we've been aiming to do is, get more people out here. We're the radio station, and the power of music, bringing people together and bringing them out. And, this place is a great place for us to bring bands in.
I hope that we can, bring more bands in and really raise the profile of not only TSR, but the Trenton venues, too.
I think was really successful. Even beyond numbers, I know that the bands had a really, really good time and felt that it was really, really cool what we were doing. And I know everyone that was there really, really enjoyed the bands and really, really had fun. And I think that was the main goal of it, is to kind of make Trenton fun again. And I think that in the future, the fact that we've done one of these successfully and it went really, really well, in the future it's going to encourage more people to come, and people that came and had a good time will bring friends, and it'll kind of gradually get bigger and bigger and snowball from there.
So I have, as I said, I've always modeled this course on sort of a generic design studio, and as we started to think about doing real world projects, I started to think, well, we need a physical presence in that real world. If we're going to be working for clients in Trenton, we need a conference table to sit around with them and talk about the parameters of projects and stuff like that. And so whenever this subject came up, I would mention to anybody who'd listen to me, we need a footprint. We need a physical presence in the city.
TCNJ and the Bonner Center are creating this kind of performance space / community center in Trenton, right in the downtown area, called Trenton Works.
Fortunately, as I mentioned before, we found this very effective, willing, enthusiastic partner in the Trenton Downtown Association.
And they actually came to us saying, would you like to have a second studio there that you can broadcast out of and kind of get the local community involved? And we said yes, because that's one of the things that we really, kind of one of our goals is to get the Trenton community more involved in the station, because obviously we broadcast here, and I think it's really important to reach people here.
The space is great. It's not just any space. It's a really nice space on a really nice corner in town.
So we're going to have a remote studio. They're also thinking of creating a performance space there,
so that we can demonstrate to everybody in Trenton that things are happening and things really should happen after dark downtown.
Hopefully we'll have established this community and this precedent of doing live shows that we can transfer things that we're doing at the Social and doing at Mill Hill and doing at other venues around Trenton to that, so we can bring the college into it more.
So, we're not trying to solve these big, overwhelming problems. We're trying to bite off these little problems that are relevant to interactive multimedia.
Nothing breaks down stereotypes more than their direct experience. And I think that's critical.
Just from the people that I've talked to, either the night of or the day after, I don't think we realized that there was any areas in Trenton that are safe to be in. I don't even think I realized it. Even nervously the night before, I was like, oh crap, something had happened, Trenton is dangerous, you never really know, having a bunch of young kids outside and around in the city could be a problem. But it was never even a concern. There was not a second I felt unsafe, and I after the fact I felt ridiculous even thinking that it would be unsafe.
We do have some evidence. We did some studies that suggested that their perceptions were changed because they encountered people on a one-on-one basis. I think their level of compassion and understanding their rational understanding that the people who live in Trenton, particularly those, the poor and the working poor, are not quote-unquote problem people, but people facing problems.
I think it was a good first step to something hopefully bigger.